The Year at Maple Hill Farm by Alice and Martin Provenson. The Year at Maple Hill Farm. The Year. This is a book about farm animals and what happens during 1 year on a farm. The year is divided into 12 months. The months are divided into weeks, the weeks into days, the days into minutes, and on a farm, something is happening every minute. Animals don't know there is such a thing as a year, but they do know about seasons. Animals know when the cold will come, and they grow heavy overcoats. They know when it is summer, and they shed them. When it is hot, they look for shade, and in the winter, they look for shelter. People have names for what they call the months of the year. We could start with any month as far as the animals are concerned, but it is usual to begin with January. January is a winter month. The ground is covered with snow. It is a cold, gray time of year, and night falls early. Cows stay in the barnyard when the ground is frozen. So do the chickens, but not many eggs are laid in January. The days are too short and dark. The horses don't mind the cold, neither do the sheep with their heavy winter coats. All the farm animals stay close to the barn where they are fed. There is a hay and grain to eat. Even the wild deer come nearer the farm, hoping to find a little salt or a windfall apple under the snow. February follows January. The forest pond is frozen solid, all but a marshy place where the spring water feeds the pond. The children are having a skating party. When they are cold, they sit by the fire and toast their toes and noses. The geese play in the icy water all winter. You'd think their bare feet would freeze, but they never do. The noisy rooks are having a circus. They toss and tumble on the trapeze of bare branches. Rooks like winter. Under the ice, in a tunnel in the frozen ground, the water rat is napping. He won't be up until spring. March is a windy month. It is still cold outside, but you can tell spring is coming. There are signs of spring in the barn. The pony has given birth to a foal. She loves him and looks after him. The milk cow has a new calf. She loves him and gives him her milk. The good gray barn cat has her litter of kittens in the hay rack. The mother ewe has 2 new lambs. The nanny goat has a new kid too. All the animal mothers are proud and protective and full of love. March is windy and rainy, but when the sun does shine, it shines more brightly and the days are longer. There are signs of spring everywhere. The robins are back and are busy building their nests. A wild duck is in the marsh marigolds. The rooster wakes everyone early in the morning. The geese are cranky. They must have laid an egg. The meadow mice are out looking around. The mad March hare is hurrying in all directions. The ice on the pond has melted, and there are pussy willows. The horses have found a little grass under the last patches of snow. They lie down in the pale sunshine. You don't see that often if the ground is frozen. April is a spring month. You can tell that spring is here by all the eggs. Eggs in the barn, in the fields, in the trees, under the caves, everywhere. The good old brown hen has been busy sitting on eggs for 21 days. Now her baby chicks are hatching. It must be hard to pick your way out of an egg, but the chicks are pretty and fluffy in no time. The robins are already hatching eggs in their businesslike way. The silly goose has laid an egg in the middle of nowhere. She must be crazy. The big bird is laying her egg in a little bird's nest. She must be cuckoo. The little bird is feeding her babies. She must wonder why one baby is so big. Here is a basket of colored eggs among the flowers. No one has found it yet. And dogs steal eggs when they can find them and carry them away. Perhaps dogs make nests too. May days are warm. The animals are uncomfortable with their heavy coats. They will all be cooler without them. Even the chickens molt. Everyone gets a haircut one way or another. The woolly sheep are shorn. The rooster won't be himself until he can parade his fine tail feathers again. The black sheepdog is shorn at the same time. Not a very fancy clip. She will scarcely be recognizable without her long curls, but they will grow back in time for winter, and she will look herself again. Even though it's cool and comfortable, It must be embarrassing to lose all your clothes at once. Cats don't need clipping. They shed their coats on other people's clothes and furniture. June is the first month of summer. The farm pond is overflowing, the pasture is green, and the animals enjoy the new green grass. Horses eat grass, geese eat grass, cows and sheep and goats eat grass. Chickens eat grass too. But that's not the reason the chickens are out in the pasture. They are chasing insects. The horses stir up insects with their big feet, and chickens love insects. The mother duck is out on the pond. She is teaching her ducklings to swim. Someone else is out today too. The good gray cat is teaching her kittens to hunt. The bird is safe on his branch, but those squirrels had better watch out. Cats don't eat grass or insects. In June, there are enough insects to go around. The fields are hopping with insects, grasshoppers and leafhoppers and tree hoppers. There are plenty of flies around in June. Dragonflies and mayflies and blue flies and butterflies. In June, there are enough horseflies to go round and around. In summer, the fields are full of flowers. Goats and sheep like flowers. Bees like flowers. Everyone likes flowers. The flowers are buzzing with bees. Bumblebees and honeybees and busy bees. Flowers like bees. They need them. In summer, the grass is hopping with fleas. No one likes fleas. They bite. July comes after June. It's hard to sleep on a night in July if the moon is full and shining and the summer stars are out. There are so many sounds to listen to. Frogs croak, crickets chirp, an owl is hooting to another owl. The old people on the porch are chatting in low voices about old times. A cow lows now and then. You can hear the steady clank of a conveyor carrying the sweet-scented hay to the loft in the barn. You can hear the quiet laughter of the men as they work. You can hear a mother goose hissing softly, warning strangers from her nest in the shed. Sometimes, if everything is silent for a moment, you can hear the horses eating grass. August is the last summer month. The sky is blue. The sun shines. The sun shines and shines. The cows doze away the noonday. The sheep graze and graze all day. The lambs are growing by the minute. The flowers are growing too. Flowers need hours of attention in August heat. The vegetables need attention too. Someone is stealing lettuce. What good is a watchdog? Late summer is a drowsy time of year. The days are hot and lazy. Almost asleep in a puddle of dust, a dog will still wag his tail as you walk by. The geese are quieter in August. All the noisy nesting is over for a while. The pig has tipped over her pail. Now she has a cool mud puddle to sleep in. You know it is hot when that old cat comes out for a breath of air. Then, sometimes, quite suddenly, a fresh wind blows, and the summer is over. The days are shorter. September is here. Everyone begins to wake up after the heat of summer. The evenings are pleasant in September, and the horses are lively. They are brought in from the field to be shod. The horses aren't afraid of the blacksmith. They are used to him. They don't mind having their shoes nailed on. It doesn't hurt. Now the days are cooler and a sense of change is in the air. September is the first month of autumn. Autumn is a fine time for riding, even if it's raining. Most animals don't mind raindrops, but the big bay horse is ticklish and doesn't want to leave his stall. Animals can be very temperamental. Animals, just as people do, sometimes have to take medicine. They have to take worm medicine, and they don't like it very much. Some dogs will eat their pill if it's wrapped up in cheese and they can't smell it. Some dogs don't care what they eat, no matter how it smells. Geese never need worming. They even eat worms. They are lucky. Sheep will stand quietly to take their medicine, if you get a good grip on them and hold their noses. Most cats will eat their medicine mixed up in their dinner, but there is always a scratchy one who must be wrapped in a towel to have her pill pushed down. While most animals will take their medicine without too much of an argument, there are some who won't. Some horses never make a fuss about pills. They don't taste so bad. Some horses are suspicious if pills are put in their grain. It's not the taste, it's the smell that worries them. It's not easy to hold a temperamental horse's nose, and you can't wrap up a horse in a towel. The vet has to be called, and he needs a helper to get medicine down. Frightening as it is, well, it will all be forgotten in a minute. Animals don't hold grudges. October is a splendid month. The harvest is in, and an early frost did away with all the insects. The hay is in the barn, the corn is in the crib, there's not much left to eat in the fields, and the animals stay closer to the barnyard. The chickens go to roost earlier, and not so many eggs are laid. October days are dry and bright, but still the wild birds are restless and begin to flock together. The children gather pumpkins, the squirrels are gathering nuts, filling their own storehouses with food. Soon the leaves will all be gone. At any moment, the migrant birds will rise and start their journey south. November! There is a frost nearly every night now. The air smells of snow and winter. The first thin ice is forming on the pond. The woods around the farm echo the huntsman's horn. The hunting hounds bay. In November, before winter comes finally, a few of the animals leave the farm. Some are sold. The finest are borrowed by neighbors for breeding. The north wind blows and the bare branches rattle. The forest is far from quiet in November before the winter settles in. The wild geese honk as they pass by. The saw and the woodsmen are noisy too. A few ganders are sent along as gifts. Everyone likes ganders. You can't have too many ganders except in the barn through the winter. December is the first winter month. The ground is often covered with snow. The days are dark and cold, and night falls early. Now is the time to be in your barn. There is hay and grain to eat. There are places to play or hide or dream. There are warm straw beds. December is the last month of the year. Now is the time to catch up on sleep. Everyone goes to bed earlier in the wintertime. An old barn owl is the only one awake to greet the January of another year. No, here are the deer. Come silently to the barnyard for the bit of saw and a little leftover hay. And the quiet fox is making certain the chickens are safe in bed this New Year's Eve.